Hello everyone, welcome back to AMTV News. I'm your anchor Topher Morrison. It is Monday, June 3rd, 2013, and our first story today in civil rights and law. Drudge reported today, take their DNA. The Supreme Court of the United States in a 5-4 decision has overturned a Maryland court ruling which held that warrantless DNA cheek swabs were illegal after arrest and before conviction. Swinger Justice Anthony Kennedy, writing for the majority, held that these swabs are not unlike fingerprinting and therefore reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. Conservative Justice Antonin Scalia, however, in sharp dissent, reasoned, quote, "Make no mistake about it, because of today's decision, your DNA can be taken and entered into a national database if you are ever arrested, rightly or wrongly, and for whatever reason." Apparently, today in America, before you have your day in court, the government has the right to know and catalog, quite literally, everything about you. And in totally unrelated news,
Tonight at 10, one Central Florida school district apologizing after some students had their eyeballs scanned as part of a pilot security program.
And the Student Safety Pilot Program has been in limbo since. That was May 23rd, the same day these eye-swipe nano cameras, shown here on the Stanley Conversion Security Solutions website, had already scanned the eyes and irises of students getting on and off school buses here at the Davenport School of Arts. And the day after, those same high-tech cameras scanned the irises of bus riders at Bethune Academy and Daniel Jenkins Academy, also in Polk County.
In our next story, it's geopolitical news. Turkish irony. The eastern border of Turkey has served as home to the foreign-backed insurgency fighting against the internationally recognized government in Syria. Its president, Bashar al-Assad, has been called a tyrant and accused of war crimes since protests started over 2 years ago during the Arab Spring were pushed into open civil war. Now, after 4 days of the largest anti-government protest in years has rocked Istanbul, predominantly secular Turks are railing against Turkey's Prime Minister Erdogan, accused of Islamic extremism and authoritarian rule. Protesters have been arrested in droves, 300 in one area, and over 1,000 have reportedly been subjected to ill treatment and torture by police, reports the Associated Press. Perhaps Bashar al-Assad should start a Turkish rebel camp in western Syria. According to Erdogan, that might already be the case, as he sees the protests are not due to his repressive policies, but, quote, internal and external groups bent on harming Turkey. Conspiracy theorists say the darndest things, don't they? And in our next story today, in military news, government insiders evidently do not enjoy the right to a speedy trial. In the largest leak ever of U.S. government documents and facing potentially life in prison, Private Bradley Manning, U.S. Army, faced a military court today for dumping classified material onto WikiLeaks servers. Manning has since his arrest suffered, quote, harsh treatment, according to a judge, during his initial 9-month detention. He has pleaded guilty to 10 of 22 charges, specifically pleading not guilty, however, to the highest crime of aiding the enemy. Today, prosecutor Captain Joe Morrow suggested Manning's leak was an effort to gain the notoriety he craved, an example of what happens when, quote, arrogance meets access. Manning's defense? He changed after what he saw in Iraq and wanted to expose the arrogance of the U.S. government and the frivolity of U.S. operations abroad. And in our last story today in tech news, Google ordered by feds to hand it over. In March of this year, the U.S. District Court Judge Susan Ilston sided with the Electronic Frontier Foundation's lawsuit and held that national security letters were unconstitutional. These letters, born out of the USA Patriot Act, tens of thousands of which are sent by the FBI to obtain from banks, telecommunication companies, and other businesses, are requests for potentially unlimited information on citizens under national security investigation. They are sent without judicial review and cannot be disclosed by the recipient under gag order. The decision was reversed by Judge Ilston herself after conversations with the FBI and forces Google to comply and against its promises to its customers. The Associated Press reports that, quote, the FBI sent 16,511 requests for information regarding 7,200 people in 2011, the latest figures available. They go on to explain that in 2007, the Justice Department's Inspector General found widespread violations by the FBI, including sending demands without proper authorization. The FBI has since tightened oversight of the system. Now, how much have they tightened the system? Well, all you have to do is ask the Associated Press themselves, or Eric Holder. Thank you for watching. Capturing every corner of the alternative media, watch AMTV News Monday through Friday. Follow me on Twitter at AMTV News and like us on Facebook at Greenwave TV. Find my sourced material and more videos like these at AMTV Media and greenwave.com. Both are part of the AMTV network. This is AMTV News, the voice of independence.